Hello everyone, my name is Aline Rueda. My classmate and I are going to talk about the following topics: writing a research report, materials design, and evaluation of the course. We want to start by saying what is a research report? A research report is a well-crafted document that outlines the processes, data, and findings of a systematic investigation. It is an important document that serves as a first-hand account of the research process, and it is typically considered an objective and accurate source of information. In many ways, a research report can be considered as a summary of the research process that clearly highlight findings, recommendations, and other important details. Reading a well-written research report should provide you with all the information you need about the core areas of the research process. So, how do we can recognize a research report when we see one? Here, in this video, we are going to explain or to mention some of the basic features that define a research report. It is a detailed presentation of research process and findings, and it usually concludes tables and graphs. It is written in a formal language. A research report is usually written in the third person. It is informative and based on first-hand verifiable information. It is formally structured with headings, sections, and bullet points. It always includes recommendations for future actions too. A lot of detail goes into writing a research report, and getting familiar with the different requirements would help us to create the ideal research report. A research report is usually broken down into multiple sections, which allows for a concise presentation of information. So, the structure of a research report is the following. The first thing we put in our research report is the title, and this is the title of your systematic investigation. Your title should be concise and point to aims, objectives, and findings of a research report. After the title, we have the table of contents, and this is like a compass that make it easier for readers to navigate the research report. Then we have the abstract, and basically an abstract is an overview that highlights all important aspects of the research, including the research method, data collection process, and research findings. After this, we have the introduction, and here the researcher highlights the aims and objectives of the systematic investigation, as well as the problem which the systematic investigation sets out to solve. After this, we have literature review, and in this session is where we provide an overview and analysis of different research work that are relevant to that systematic investigation that we are carrying out. An account of investigation is the next step, and this is a detailed account of the research process, including the methodology, sample, and research subjects. We find findings, and in this section we are expect to present the results of the systematic investigation. After that, we have the discussion, and this section further explains the findings of the research earlier outlined. In this step, we are expect to present a justification for each outcome and show whether the results are in line with our hypothesis, or if other research studies have come up with similar results. As an penultimate step, we have conclusions, and this is a summary of all the information in the report. It also outlines the significance of the entire study. And by last, we have reference and appendix. This section contains a list of all the primary and secondary research sources. Now we want to mention some tips for writing a research report. First of all, we have to define the context for the report. Also, it is important to define the audience, our audience, and include significant findings. We should exclude of our research irrelevant information. And another tip it is to include illustrations and other visual representations of our data.
Hello, my name is Oscar. So, what is material design and what is it is so important? So, designing material provides a formative for teacher and explore learnings, new information which makes shapes and forms of task. So, in the context of training students for corporate work life, material design not only exposed to every student to a lot of business scenarios, but also helps teachers to develop every kind of professional skills. So regarding to target language equations, students need to master the language skill for which language teachers. So have to design appropriate materials provides the current training. So language learning provides students performances for real life situations, and teachers have to provide exposure to such a situation through learning materials. So material learnings, these teaching learnings play a central role in teaching and learning and course in grades. For example, that was a date, the 40, the 2040, page 11. So materials are fundamental to language learning and teaching, but material cannot view independently of their users. Emphasis added. So these sections presents two important characteristics of teaching materials. What imply their relevance teaching education, and there are fundamental parts of language learning, learning this language and teaching, and they are dependent on their user. So both of teachers and learners. So exactly because of the dependent natural of teaching materials, when a student teachers seek them to design them, a number of contextual decisions have to be made, and these have to great potential to arise designers and reflection about what is how teaching, who, where the learners are, and what they are learning teacher for, and how much time is available research and among other users. So generally speaking, material design should consider to try harmonize situated positive to learners to learners needs and wants. So besides choosing and adapting materials representing quite challenge for most, for example, the new language teachers, and the same time as put out by Harwood in 2010, the page 4, coping always. No preparing teaching material can meet the needs and needs of the given class, presenting some levels of adaptations. Why they be necessary, it is consequently important that its teachers become so aware of that, understanding why and develop information means to the performs this task inherent professionals. So there is another topic. The last topic we want to talk about is the evaluation of a course. So, a course evaluation is a short survey conducted by the education at the end of a class and of a course of study. The evaluation forms aims to the collect general information what is each student likes or dislikes most about the classes, about the lessons, and about the courses. So, which the goal is improving the educational experience for students. So, some evaluations formed the number and letter system grade in various aspects, educational materials or the educational states, teaching, the learning environment, and the classroom facilities. Most of them also have to space of open-ended student comments, courses evaluation from the usually optional, and are almost always anonymously submitted for the protection and privacy of teacher student. So course evaluation form may created by individual educator. So or maybe standardized across a department or entirely the educational institution. The format of the education almost always forms to the type of its education. It is always necessary because every education institution needs its educational way, educational course evaluation itself. So, for example, online forms are usually provides the web-based courses. So, while paper copies are generally handed out during the final course of the in-person coursework. So there are 6 created effective course evaluations. For example, the number one, ask the direct and clear questions. The number two, several question styles. For example, ABC, open-ended questions, and all those styles. For example, in my school, I try to not use an IBC questions. I try to make more, for example, more open questions that are for the understanding of every kind of student that I got. So it is good because they at this way they can explore its self knowledge, so it is good for them. So the third is the define rating scales. The four keeps it short, but it's because it is so important to keep course evaluation short, because for too longer hours they feel tired, so they will not ask you as they in a good way. In number five, we got the make evaluation available online because it is a good idea. We are in the new era, so we need to evolution these evaluations. So in the four, the confidently clear communicated and evaluation responsible will remain strictly confidential. So confidentially give students assures they need to conformably for provide absolutely everything that they need in a kind by in the feedback. So again, this is another way to work in script responsible rates. So thank you for your attention, and I hope you can understand everything. Thank you.